The next topic I want to cover is the rejection of plea deals. We're going to start this segment with 58-year-old attorney William Calhoun of Georgia. Calhoun has been charged with obstructing an official proceeding and then 2 misdemeanors. So he's facing up to 20 years in prison if he's convicted, but he's rejected the government's plea deal and he's vowing to take his case to court. And like I said, he's an attorney. So Calhoun told the Insider news outlet, quote, "I will not be intimidated and I will never bend the knee to the communists by pleading guilty to something I did not do." And he does have one thing going for him. The judge presiding over his case is Trump appointee Dabney Friedrich, who you guys have heard me bitch about her before. She's been extremely lenient with these January 6th defendants. However, he also has 12 things going against him, right? Because these jurors are going to make the ultimate decision after hearing and seeing the posts that he made on social media. This is where probably not a good idea for him. This is the guy who bragged online and said that he helped, quote, "bring our government to its knees." And he vowed that they would all return to the Capitol, quote, "armed for war." And then Calhoun also wrote, quote, "we physically took control of the Capitol building in a hand-to-hand hostile takeover." And Calhoun was on the FBI's radar even before January 6th because he was issuing threats online. So, for example, he wrote, quote, "some of you will live long enough to be exterminated with extreme prejudice." And he wrote, quote, "we are going to kill every last communist who stands in Trump's way." So, but the fact remains that there's no evidence that Calhoun committed any acts of violence on January 6th or that he damaged any property. So the question is going to be whether or not the jury takes Calhoun's threats into consideration, whether they think that they were real or just hyperbole. Hopefully they'll consider that when determining whether or not he intended to disrupt the electoral count that day. So we'll see. This guy's due back in court in April as well. So the judge will set a trial date at that time. So I will definitely keep an eye on that trial. The next January 6th defendant to refuse a plea deal is 18-year-old Bruno Cua. He's from Georgia as well. Cua is among the youngest of the capital defendants. There's very few that were teenagers. And he's been indicted on a really long list of charges that include multiple felonies. And it includes an upcharge for use of a dangerous or deadly weapon, which again substantially increases the penalties for his alleged crimes. So this was one of the people who was hit with just the basic 4 misdemeanors, and now he's looking at potentially decades in prison. So Cua, like I said, has rejected their plea deal. That case is going to be going to trial as well. Next up is Patrick McCaughey. McCaughey. I've heard it pronounced multiple ways. It's spelled McCaughey. I'm going to call him McCoy because that's what I've heard most. So McCoy was seen at the Capitol. He was the man. You are going to remember him. He was seen on video crushing Officer Daniel Hodges between his stolen riot shield and a metal doorway. And Officer Hodges was quite famously seen in that video screaming in pain. So this guy faces a multitude of very serious charges, including obstructing an official proceeding, several assault charges with a dangerous or deadly weapon. As with Cua, McCoy could be going away for a long time, and jury selection will begin at the end of August. So he has 6 months to decide if he wants that video to be seen by a jury. So I'll let you guys know if I hear anything new before then. But yeah, when they got you on video, guy, I don't know. I don't think that's a good idea. The final stable genius to turn down a plea deal is Matthew Bledsoe. Bledsoe is a 37-year-old man from Tennessee, and he's a Q believer. He also is one of those people who shared his crimes online. He posted photos and videos on Instagram while he was at the Capitol. In one video, you could hear him say, quote, "We pay for this shit. Where's those pieces of shit at? I mean, besides being grammatically incorrect, what was he planning on doing with those pieces of shit if he found them? Again, this is something that's going to be shown to a jury if he goes to trial. January 10th, he texted his wife, and it might provide the answer to that question of what he was going to do with them, because he wrote to her saying, quote, "They are all going to be executed." And Bledsoe doesn't exactly have the greatest track record. He's one of those very fine people on Trump's side. In 2006, Bledsoe was arrested for evading arrest. In 2007 and 2009, he was arrested for driving under the influence. Then in October of 2020, just a few months prior to the Capitol attack, police were called to his home because Bledsoe allegedly grabbed his wife by the throat and slammed her to the floor. And she told police that he had a history of violence with her. But she's out here on social media, you guys, posting on his behalf. She called him a patriot soldier. That's a direct quote. Perhaps she should call him a weak woman abuser instead. And definitely call the police, definitely call an attorney and the police before this guy kills someone. So anyway, this guy clearly has issues. He needs to be locked up for a long time, but he thinks he's going to get a better deal in court. So he's also rejected the plea offer, and his attorney has requested an August trial date as well. So I'll keep you posted on that case. Of course, I just don't know what these people are thinking.